in your 20s, you should not be dating a guy your age. Because women are just way more mature than men, sorry.
Best podcast in the world. Walk
As you guys can see, we got a guest with us. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to bring you guys all the superstars that we know. All right. You want to introduce our guest, Mr. Baba?
Yeah. From
Well, before you do that,
yeah.
comment on how you like this dude shades, because I think he's rocking his girl shades.
I like it. I think it looks dope.
Deny.
Yeah.
See, that's the
Give it energy.
That's the feminization of masculinity.
Yo, listen.
I'm joking.
Now you gotta know both sides, you know what I mean? Not in a gay way, but in a straight way, you know what I mean? You gotta be in tune with your feminine as well as your testosterone. You feel me, dog? You know what I mean?
All right. Who's our guest today?
Yo, TJ, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Thank you. I feel very honored. And I came to bring the heat.
Yes.
Sophisticatedly ratchet.
Yes, bring it.
Yes.
Bring it.
So you got a podcast too, right?
I do. So I have a podcast called the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, branding all day, taking a sip.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and we go live every first Wednesday of the month on YouTube. You can find us everywhere you hear podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon has podcasts, and then you can hop over to our social media. I'm just gonna plug us.
Okay,
I'm on my bro.
Of course.
On social media, we're on IG at So Ratchet Podcast, on TikTok So Ratchet Podcast, on Twitter So Ratchet Pod, and on YouTube where you can see our beautiful and handsome faces, because it's 5 of us.
Right.
It's So Ratchet Space Podcast.
All right.
So what is your podcast about?
We talk about everything: dating, religion, current events, politics. It's about everything and anything. And it's a group of professionals that keep it sophisticated, but we also ratchet, you know?
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
We're a little ratchet over here, right, Dre?
Keeping it true.
We're a little bit ratchet over here.
I gotta hold his ratchet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he be going on.
What does ratchet mean to you?
To me, I don't know. Ratchet is, I guess, for me, unsophisticatedness.
Really? So you don't
Yeah.
feel like you can do both? I live in the and, not
You
the
can,
or.
sure, but I'm just saying.
She said that.
You asked
I
me
do.
what ratchet is.
Yeah.
So for me, when you are being ratchet is when you're not being sophisticated.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's for me.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
What's ratchet for you?
Yeah, let's
For
say
me,
yeah.
so yeah, I feel like I said, I live in the and, not the or.
Sure.
And so I feel like I can be sophisticated and I can be ratchet. I have a master's degree from NYU, so and I'm professional. So that's my sophistication. I carry myself, I'm about my business. And ratchet for me is just turning up with my friends, having a good time, you know, just letting loose.
Gotcha. What'd you study?
Nursing,
Interesting. Good stuff. Good stuff.
15 years.
Yeesh.
Now I'm a podcaster. Check me out.
Full time?
Sophisticatedly Ratchet. No, that's to be. Soon.
Nice.
Manifesting it.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. So today,
Yeah, Dre.
Today we're talking about all the things that boils TJ's blood. And part of it, we started with unlearning what society has already taught us, right? So all the incorrect things society has taught us. So let's hear the first one.
I don't have a full list, but I would say I could break it down in dating.
All right, let's attack dating.
Oh, you want to do that first?
Yeah,
I was going to do
let's
health
hit it.
first because I feel like health is,
Nah, this guy's a vegan. We're always talking about health. All right, bring it down. Fine, let's do health.
Okay, we could do health. So I felt like one of the things that boils my blood is having to learn everything that you thought was the truth. when you were little.
Sure.
And I had explained to you guys, when you're in school, there's the food pyramid, and they teach you this amount of grains and meats and sweets and dairy. And dairy's the devil. And I know you don't believe that because you're not vegan or you're not on that wave. That's okay.
No. I know. So I'm not a vegan, but I do understand how detrimental certain things that we eat is to our bodies.
Correct. So
I just hate vegans. So even when
why do you hate vegan though?
No, I don't hate vegan. I hate vegans. So
why
the
do you
people,
hate vegans?
because they are worse than Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's not nice.
Oh yeah, they are.
Please
worse
don't
than
cancel them.
Jehovah's
Please don't
Witnesses.
cancel me because I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, okay, that was a shot.
What you mean by worse than
People-
Jehovah's Witnesses don't bother nobody?
One day we're sitting around having a conversation. I think we were on the show, right? And a vegan was here, and he was like, "We shouldn't even eat honey."
Because it's like regurgitated by bees or whatever.
Care.
Okay.
I'm like, you don't want nothing good out of life. Like, honey is not an animal product. Like, it's not part of an animal. And you have a problem with that too?
Who was that? Who was the guest?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna call
I got a crush on somebody.
that we had. We're talking about it afterwards.
I like that.
It probably wasn't.
It was him?
We're probably
Okay.
talking about it
Well, he gets
afterwards.
a pass. He gets a pass.
All right.
Yeah, he does.
All right. All right.
Let him know I said that.
I will. Yeah, I will.
Getting ratchet.
So yeah, I just feel like they try to indoctrinate people too much. And you don't see people that are carnivores walking around trying to pull back vegans back out of veganism, right? But you get all these, it's hard, you'd be hard pressed to find a vegan that isn't trying to turn you into a vegan.
Yeah.
No.
Almost every vegan I know. This guy, every week he's talking to me about why shouldn't eat meat.
Mind you, 40 billion animals die per year, 300 per second.
You know how much full bellies that is?
Stay away from
We gotta eat
stay
the
away
animals,
from
man.
the oink oink, y'all.
Well, that's a fact.
Oh, so you don't eat pork?
We don't dine with the swine.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
So tell us, what are you unlearning? So we got cheese. What else?
So not just cheese, it's just everything in healthcare regarding food, you know, like, because you are what you eat, and it starts with the food.
Sure.
How many dialysis centers are opening up everywhere? I'm a nurse.
God.
I should love this stuff. You know what I mean? This is money for us. This is money for healthcare, or, you know, I would say Western healthcare. What we don't know is a lot of the foods that we're eating that's causing us to have these comorbidities that lead to chronic renal issues.
Yeah.
See, we need a nurse for Dre's ass. That's what we need. We need a nurse to beat it into.
But I don't want to beat anything into anyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't claim.
I want you to, please.
I don't claim being vegan either, by the way.
Good, because chicken too sweet.
Yep.
Chicken.
She ain't gonna deny that.
Actually, I get grossed out if I think about chicken too deep.
Denied.
How many chickens are on this earth that we can have chicken everywhere you go?
But this guy love seasoning and think it's chicken.
Target neutralized.
So he told you he was my arch nemesis, right?
Yeah.
So one day he brought in some vegan chicken nuggets.
You couldn't tell the difference.
So he's like, Dre, try these chicken nuggets. They vegan chicken nuggets. I was just like, fine. He had a dipping sauce and all that.
Yeah.
I was like,
She said, yeah.
this thing tastes like seasoned fried dumplings.
What was it made out of?
It was a plant-based meat, and just to be clear, not all vegans eat healthy, you know what I mean? I try to stay more on the veggies and fruit side and provision, you know what I mean? Grown provision than the fake side, because they pushing some fake shit too, you know what I mean?
They are, and that's why I don't
Let's
claim
hear it,
being
TJ.
vegan.
What are some of the fake stuff we should
So
be
like,
paying
I'm a
attention
big fan of Vegandale. I
Yeah.
go out to support. I love people opening their minds to things other than meat. However, that shit is scary as
What do you mean?
you just don't know what you're eating.
I never go to Vegandale, so you gotta tell
It's
me
a
what you're talking
vibe.
about.
It's a vibe.
For
so
sure.
you
A
should
new
go.
vibe, the new vibe.
Even if you're not Vegan, you should come to Vegandale. And I don't promote Vegandale, by the way, but you could cut me a check and send us to you back. My name is TJ. Yeah, so you don't know. They fry anything, they batter anything, and they give it to you, and you don't know what you're eating. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's an issue. And I don't claim being a vegan because of that. Like, I'm not big into like animals because I love me some oxtail and like jerk chicken, you name it. I even did eat pork. I still kind of, if it was around me, you know what I'm saying, and it's smelling right, I don't know. The flesh is weak. It's still weak. It's still weak. And that's exactly, so, but if I had kids, no, because I don't have any children yet. But I do feel like, because I've tasted it, the devil's nectar, like I'm hooked. I know what McDonald's tastes like. Yeah. I don't want that for my kids. You know what I mean?
My kids have never had McDonald's.
There you go. Why not?
Only Wendy's.
So that's the worst fast food on the planet. So
yeah, our bodies don't know how to break down all the preservatives that are in it, and they put those preservatives so it has shelf life for their profit.
And it tastes too, because some of it is contributes to neurotoxins that help you think the food tastes.
Of course, there's a science behind people making money and having generational wealth, and we gotta.
Know, huh? Yeah, I know.
Yo, I had to unlearn and then relearn what sex was.
Ooh, talk about it, King. All right, we're gonna go to dating next. Okay.
What sex was, and just masculinity and stuff like that. Like, I had to unlearn how to watch porn, you know what I mean?
Why
how to stop watching porn.
Where you felt like you were addicted?
I watched porn, yeah. It was just something that all your guys did, so you did that. You do that.
Wait. Did you feel like you were addicted is the question, right? That's different from what you just said, yeah, okay.
Wait, so you and your boys was watching porn, Ali?
Yeah, collectively. I'm sure you were watching porn too.
Together?
No.
In the same space.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, bro.
But it's like, you send your boys something, you know, you see something crazy.
Gotcha.
Pinky. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what Pinky is, sorry.
She's a porn star.
This guy right here pretending.
Right?
I'm not into porn, so sorry.
I had to learn how to stop masturbating, semen retention. You know what I mean? And to put a woman first.
Semen retention?
I love to hear that a guy speaks about this, because you don't hear a lot of men speaking about stuff like this.
I only hear men talking about semen retention.
What man?
Him and all his friends.
Just him and all his friends, maybe his people's, but the average guy is not talking about semen retention.
Because it's rubbish. That's what.
Get somebody else.
Okay.
Dre is like, let the nut free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let the nut free.
What do we want? Freedom. What do we want it for? Nuts.
But a lot of like, if you think about it, your semen can create a whole life. So what else is that releasing when you give it away freely or to the wrong person?
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I feel the same way too. I'm on this journey of being celibate. It's been a little bit over a year, and it's like I don't want to share my body with anyone else. I want to have a baby, and I feel like this is my time to protect my energy, protect my womb. And I was never thinking like that. And the things that I learned that I'm unlearning is just like you said, like, what is sex?
Yeah.
For a long time, and this I can speak for females. Ladies, if this is not you, that's okay, but put it in the comments, let us know. I don't feel like I really knew my body until I was like in my late 20s. I think prior to that, I was just having sex and allowing a guy to do whatever. And you fake the moan because you watching porn and you see them doing it and they got you in all these positions and whatever. And you're like, girl, he did this, but did you actually have an orgasm? No.
I was just telling Dre, age doesn't make you a man or a woman, you know?
Absolutely
like there's some 40-year-old boys and there's some 18-year-old men.
100%. 100%.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. So this semen retention thing you got
Hold on. Yeah. And in sex, like, you know, I used to listen to a lot of Vibes Cartel and
Yo, son, don't be dissing Vibes, bro.
And you know, when I would have sex, it was just about daga 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 daga, you know what I mean? And that music was playing in my head. Not even just like constant harder thrusts and strokes as opposed to like just caring and loving. Yeah.
Who are you? This is awesome.
Yeah, for real
He's
shit.
trying to pick you up.
No, he's very committed, okay? He's very committed. Yeah. I'm happy for my girl right now.
Yeah, and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, I feel like society raises a lot of young men, a lot of young women too, because you know your parents are not going to sit down and, well, I don't know what it's like now, but back in the day, my mother's Jamaican. She wasn't going to sit down and say the penis goes in the vagina. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to make sure that you come. Like we never had that conversation.
Sure. She probably never did.
She didn't either. My mom did do a good job of teaching me about my period and stuff like that. But I feel like the world taught me. And I would say it was with porn. I want to say maybe in the 4th, 5th grade, I had a girlfriend that her mom had the crazy collection.
Yes, I saw me like
crazy collection of porn and
so
CDs, VHS.
VHS, okay, because we a little old, okay. I don't want to date myself.
Guys setting people up, bro.
You're trying to set me up, right? VHS, and it was a crazy collection, and we would just watch it, and that's I want to say that's how we kind of learned where exactly it goes and how to like behave. You have to be like, and it's all fake. It's not real, Like I really want you to get me to that point where it's organic and it's natural. So I'm quiet unless it's real.
Yeah. It's supposed to be.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of men, their ego is heightened when she's like, yes, daddy.
So here's the thing, right? There's a pandemic of women out there that are not having orgasms, right?
Epidemic, okay.
What's the difference?
I don't know, girl.
Pandemic is bigger than epidemic.
And I think it's a pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
About 80-something% sometimes.
Don't have orgasms.
It's been at that before.
So, and part of it is because they don't let the men know how bad of a job they're doing.
I don't think so. I don't agree. I feel like orgasms for women are more than just physical. So you could be doing the bomb job, but her mind is not on sex. Or, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like, yes, there's a part that a man plays, but it's not all on you. Yeah, it's emotional.
Yeah, but women always expect the men to play their part in helping them get to that point, right? So whether it's the 5 love language, right? So or there's a concept out there that talks about I think 10 touches a day, and it's not necessarily 10 physical touches.
Okay.
But sending a text message with some whispering of
thoughtfulness,
sweet,
kind of thing.
Yeah, and then when you guys are together, a brush here, a kiss on the earlobe there. You know what I mean? Okay. So by the time you get to, I'm dropping nuggets for this guy because he don't know this stuff. So by the time you get to the bedroom, she's halfway there, like you said, right?
Okay.
But it sounds as though you're saying women should do their part to get there, not the men.
I think we get to not just put it all on one person. Sex is a shared, intimate experience.
Sure.
And I need to feel comfortable with you to tell you exactly what I like. Some women don't speak up. I want to tell you, move to the left, move to the right, stay right here, hit it harder, hit it softer. And I want to be with a partner that's connected to me, that gets it, like from a different moan that I do, that you get that you doing it right, you know what I'm saying, or not, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's connection, and that's important.
I think Dre is saying business hours foreplay, and you're saying also like a translation of what you're saying is sometimes a woman could be like, yo, I'm gonna hold on so tight to not get this orgasm.
No, we don't think that. We want to fucking come.
But I've heard of women that do that. Like,
why though?
Because
they're just mentally, sometimes the feeling is too strong. Sometimes it's, like Dre is saying, you didn't treat them nice throughout the day. And so they're holding on to that. And trying to
so that energy of it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like not fully knowing how to release.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't speak to
There's
that.
some blockage.
That's not...
Yeah, I can't speak to it.
So, well, when you said blockage, I thought you were talking about we're getting too intellectual and we got sophisticated ratchet in it.
What you said?
When you said holding
the sophisticated
on...
part is intellectual, right?
Facts.
So when you said holding on, I thought you were talking about there's some women who they'll hold the orgasm because the longer they can hold it, when it does happen, it's sort of like a volcano eruption for
Is
them.
it?
That's what they say.
Teach me.
Yes.
Teach me. Where
Come
you
here to
at?
learn.
Comment, let me know.
learn.
Yeah, let me know. Teach me.
Sidebar, what type of man are you looking for when you say that? Teach me. What did you have to
Well, I
unlearn
wanted to
about
learn from the
men
women. I wanted to know what the women were doing to hold off, because I love
Okay.
to have multiple orgasms. Like,
Oh, so you're like,
I've learned my body
me
to
first, and again and again
not
and
me
again.
first. It's just we're connecting.
No, I'm just saying.
and-
So again, I don't know if it's psychological or what, but like he said, there are some women who it sounds as though your intention is to come. And then, right. And then you have some women
what
who
we
is
doing
like,
this for?
right, but you have some women who is like, make me come. You understand what I'm saying? And so,
yeah, I say that. I say make me come, but you know, I think, yeah, I do want men to make me come too.
But I'm saying psychologically for you, it's like I'm going to go get this orgasm, and then I want multiple of these things, right? Some women are like, really okay, make me come. You went to go get yours, and they're like, okay, make me come.
Yeah,
that's the girl who's doing it for money versus a girl who's doing it because she loves it.
This guy, I'm not on that level.
Wait, a girl that's doing it for money is gonna say, make me come, and not put any work into
I
it?
have no idea. You gotta look on that side.
yeah, versus the girl who really loves it.
Yes, please.
I mean, I don't think I can explain it any further. I think I've expounded on it.
Okay, that's
so
okay.
what else are you unlearning, TJ?
Wow, that was deep. So we went to sex. I would just...
Did you cover all of what you're unlearning for sex?
No, I'm still learning. Well, I feel like dating is under the sex is under the dating umbrella.
Sure,
so we can talk about dating.
Let me just ask you a question though. Did you have to, same realm, did you have to unlearn what you thought a man was?
I think I'm still learning, so I don't feel like I'm unlearning.
What do you think a man is?
I feel like a man is a protector, provider, human. He got feelings just like we do too. Like I don't want to put them on this.
Dre, you out already.
I don't want to put them on this like pedestal. Yeah, and that's the problem. And that's the problem. Society has taught men to or little boys to like shut up, man up. Like you don't have any feelings.
But you know what? On the other side of that, respectively, now they teaching them too much. So
because then you got a lot of simps.
Balance.
Is what she's talking about, like.
Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
There's a balance, there's a healthy balance, but it's important for young boys that grow up to young men and grown-ass men to know you are human, you're gonna have emotions. You are human, you're gonna have feelings, and it's okay to express those feelings.
Some of them.
And there's a balance, even with women. There's some very emotional women too.
True.
That exist. We have to have balance in everything.
True.
In all aspects of our life, you know what I mean? So.
What you think, Ali? Because you brought this up. Why'd you bring this up?
Because you heard it there. A woman saying Dre's not the man that he thought he was.
I ain't say all of that.
Everybody watched this. No, Dre don't got no damn feelings. And I love it. But Dre is a different type of man who I respect. And Dre, am I lying, or you don't have as much emotions?
I don't express a whole lot of emotions.
Why not?
There's no need.
Okay.
The ones that do need to express.
When's the last time you cried?
It's been a long time.
Yo, you remember that breezy day? Dre, you remember that breezy day like 5 years ago?
His eyes started tearing, watering. Okay.
My aunt died.
And you cried for that. Why did you cry?
Because she was. I loved that aunt. She was my favorite aunt.
Okay.
Of all my relatives, she was the one I interacted with the most.
Okay.
She was, hope nobody shows this to my mom, but I used to wish she was my mom.
Really?
Yeah, she was.
I got an aunt like that.
Yeah, and so when she went, it was, it was rough.
Okay.
So we were at the funeral and I teared up.
Okay. How does it make you feel? How does that, just speaking about that experience, make you feel in this moment right now?
It brings back emotions.
Okay, so you're in touch with your emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's good.
Listen,
he's not like
I let Ali talk.
Okay, he's just talking shit.
He's just
okay.
And when
I watched whoever watched the podcast know the vibes.
Oh gosh.
So I just let him talk. I let him talk. So back to the men and relationships, right? So there are some men out there who for me, in my opinion, there's a war going on right now between men and women.
What's the war?
So women are speaking up about what they're intentionally looking for in men.
Okay.
And men who aren't living up to what most of the females are looking for are now lashing back out against women. So, like you just mentioned what a man is, right? You said a provider, protector,
human.
all these different things, right? And there are a lot of men out there who, and this is my opinion, because they're not able to live up to some of the requirements that are out there for men, they start to lash out against the women. And between social media or the media in general, with regards to the feminist movement.
He's talking about people that like Kevin Samuels.
Okay.
Not even, because the feminist movement had nothing to do with Kevin Samuels.
Are you a Kevin Samuels fan?
I'm not.
Okay.
He is. He's like a fanboy.
Are you really?
Yeah, a huge fanboy.
Okay. What do you like about him?
Me?
Yeah.
Or what did you? R.I.P. Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
I respected his honesty for one. You know what I mean? One thing he said is that when there's a burning building, you're not able to just whisper to people. You know what I mean? Hey, get out the building. You gotta yell that shit sometimes. And because I'm very passive, I don't like to be yelled at, but it's good. Sometimes you need to be yelled at. Sometimes you need to know the urgency of a situation. You know what I mean?
What does that mean in relationships, though, for you? Like, yelling, like I want to.
So yelling is not like, yelling is what it translates to from the fire. You're saying, yelling is sometimes
like
relationship.
How did he mention, like, what's Kevin Samuels' take on that?
So I don't know if Kevin Samuels said that. Did he say that?
Not specifically
What
that.
you just
but what's
said?
Yeah.
So I'll explain.
The reason why he was so tough on people was because he's like, yo,
this is a message that needs
as Black
to be
America, yo, we gonna die alone unless we do something.
Facts. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Thank you for
And
that.
that is dope.
It's
connected
usually
now.
not connected.
No, I'm drinking Carib Blend, so that's why it may not connect for a
it's
little
not you.
bit.
Don't
Okay,
worry,
thank
it's
you.
not
Yeah, we ain't even talk about this.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Carib Blends. It's my guy. Chev, he makes, what should I say? Infused with the earth drinks.
With
And
the
this
earth.
is sorrel because I'm at Wagwan, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Listen to the connection. Listen to the team.
Check it out. Check it
He
out.
made sorrel for us, and so I'm sharing the libations with you guys.
For sure,
Chai.
for sure. So,
Kevin Samuels.
back to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
So what do you or don't you like about Kevin Samuels?
I don't like or dislike him. I just do not like his delivery. I
Okay.
think his message comes off. So one of my messages for myself in life was to just be aware of how I come off to other people. And so people would tell me that, you know, your message is great, but your delivery is off-putting. And so people don't even hear the message when you're like rah-rah, or you just don't deliver it in a way that's conducive to the other person receiving the message.
Sure.
Isn't it ironic because people love people on TV that are super direct
Yeah.
and real?
Yeah.
Like I Love New York, Kevin Samuels.
I
know
think
what I
you
mean?
can still be real, but you don't have to be disrespectful, and that's the issue that I have with Kevin Samuels. I felt like he was very disrespectful to a lot of the women that were on the platform. He was like making sounds, elephant sounds when they were overweight. Like that's just not, yeah. But he did it because it got
He
the
told
laugh.
man he had a short penis.
Yeah, of course he does. He's very disrespectful, but his message is appropriate. Like, for a lot of women to want a 6-figure man and the man to provide and protect and do everything, and you sit pretty and you got a whole bunch of kids at home, like, what makes you, he just tells it like it is. Like,
listen,
he's not looking for you. And I'm not saying that he isn't. There are gonna be some people that are.
This is a lotus on my hand. The beautiful flower comes out of mud, so greatness is created through being put through shit.
So I agree.
Sometimes you need to be spoken down to say, yo, for real, I am in my greatness. You know what I mean?
Spoken down to, though.
Not like, I'm not talking about relationship-wise, but sometimes as men,
you need that tough love.
I mean, I guess maybe I understand. Yeah, I guess I understand, like,
but he was
from a man to a woman, it looks bad. Say it again?
Yeah, exactly. From a man to a woman, it looks bad.
Yeah.
And now you get it. I've been at it with you for like 2 years.
Nah,
you
but
now
he wasn't.
Get it?
I wouldn't say he was talking down to. You know what I mean?
Are you insane?
I would say, yeah, he did make some funny shit up, but that, I think sometimes like that may create greatness.
So look,
it did create greatness. There's a whole tribe of women that are. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you go.
No, I just feel like it did create greatness. I feel like a lot of women were like, oh no, this is not what I want. By seeing it, like, I was not the biggest fan of Kevin Samuels. I listened to his message. I didn't like his delivery, but it allowed a lot of us to have that conversation amongst women saying, hey, sis, maybe we are going out of our league. Like, what are our real options? And how can we help the younger generation of women? And that's what I was going to talk about. Something that I had to unlearn. I really had to unlearn. Like, you can't just be in your 20s. You should not be dating a guy your age, because women are just way more mature than men. Sorry, it just is. Okay, and I'm not saying all. I'm just saying in general. You know what I'm saying?
What is mature though? Is mature like the achievement of the grit? Like, is that what the ultimate goal of life is? Maturity? Because what if you're mature but you're super emotional?
True. And I feel like
you're saying as a man,
you got to figure out that balance. I feel like to be any of each of or on either side, there's no balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for maturity, for me, I'm just thinking, in my 20s, I had my shit together. I was working for a company, a pharma company. I was making really good money. I had my own place, and a lot of the guys that I was dating, you know,
stuff he don't want to hear.
Unfortunately went to college, but you know, they don't want to work for nobody, but they haven't figured it out yet. You know what I'm saying? So they're like trying to get rich quick and little things that they did, and it was just like, I'm here paying bills. You know, you coming in, you staying with me. Like, you don't even get the concept of paying bills and like that type of maturity of living life. That's the maturity of life. Like, I need to eat, and if I spend all my money going out to eat, let me learn how to cook something. Like, I feel like that's life. You know, like those life skills in that sense. So my message, because of Kevin Samuels, to my younger sisters are, listen, you may not find, and I'm not saying that it's all men, but you may not find a guy in his 20s ready to commit, ready to settle down and have kids if that's what you're ready for. You're gonna have to go to the guys that are at that maturity level, ready to like live life, play life with you. That's how I feel. And so that was the great stuff that came out of Kevin Samuels, in my opinion. Like, I wanted to hear a guy tell me what they're looking for. I love the fact that I'm on this podcast too, because I get to hear perspectives of men, but two different men, you know what I mean? So that is a plus in my book, so I can understand you guys and play in the sandbox, you know what I'm saying?
So for me,
opposite.
As it relates to Kevin Samuels, I like you, agreed with a lot of his message. But I do believe that, like you said, you catch more whatever with honey than
bees,
with
flies,
you understand what I'm saying?
True. So, and vinegar.
Yeah. So, you know, they come up with all of these, you know, ways to explain why we should settle or deal with the bruteness that he portrayed. I think every single message that he gave that was a pertinent message could have been delivered using way more tact.
I agree.
Right? And an educated and experienced man like himself So I have a bunch of issues with Kevin Samuels, right?
Okay.
One of my issues with him was, and this isn't even about Kevin Samuels, but since we're here, one of my issues with him was his delivery. I think that he was unnecessarily harsh. You can give harsh messages without being as harsh as he was.
Let me say something.
Hold on.
ahead.
No. You said what you had to say already. Because you're a fanboy, and I never said what I had to say.
Denied.
Additionally, I was watching another interview of Kevin Samuels, and he went on and said he's Native American, he's not black. And I said, hold up. Well, even before
This is your caveat? This is your issue with him?
No.
Okay.
No, there's a plethora. I'm listing them.
Okay.
So one was his delivery. The second was he always talked crap about successful black women. And then one day he came on and said, you women need to listen to this white woman. And it was a white woman talking about how she's successful, all her friends are successful, and if you guys want to step to me or any of my friends, you have to come correct.
Facts.
Right? But those are the same things the black women were saying that he was dishing dirt on them for.
Okay.
So you bring a white woman on your show, while you're dishing dirt on black women and get famous for it, you bring a white woman on saying the same thing and say we should listen to her. And then I see an interview with him on some other show, and he says, I'm Native American, I'm not black. And I said, hold up. So all this time, you've been talking crap about black women, you've been talking about our people, and then you go on and say, I'm Native American, not black? I was just like, yo, I showed you all this stuff, did I not? Did I send you all this stuff?
The clip with the Caucasian was a recording.
What are you talking about? No, he had her on also. The one I sent you was a recording, but even if it was a recording, he brought a recording of her saying the same things black women were saying, and then saying, you black women need to listen to her. That's sus.
Can I say something?
Sure.
We have our guest. Let our
hear
guest
what you gotta say.
You sure? Where is it?
Yeah.
Let me clear up my talking down statement. When I'm saying talking down, I'm talking about like in the army. You know what I'm saying? When they trying to weed out, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when the military manipulates one of their soldiers, you know what I'm saying?
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. I was in the military, by the way.
You was?
8
Wow.
years.
Wow, that's dope.
Army.
Wow. When they want you to understand their mindset and how, we have to move to win a war. Are they speaking, hey, TJ, would you mind doing a couple of push-ups for me?
No.
How do they talk to you?
It's very stern, kind of yelling at you. However, that has changed. The military has changed.
Oh, I've heard about
Yeah, like back in the day, if you watch those movies like Full Metal Jacket, seeing the drill sergeant like beating on you or, yelling in your face. I think they still do it to a certain extent, but it's all mental now. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the best way for you to lead your people, with tact. I feel like the best leaders also are really good followers. You have to understand how to kind of mold or go in, know your role. Do your role. Go ahead.
And you can, same way parenting style, you can have some parents who are like, I'm gonna mentally talk to you until I get you to do what I want. And then you have some parents that will take out the belt. You know what I mean?
You gotta beat the kids.
What do you feel like supported you though?
Huh?
What did you feel like supported you? Because my mom, she was taking out the belt.
You gotta beat the kids.
You think so? I don't agree. Yeah. I don't have kids though.
Wait, you're gonna be whooping them behind.
How do you feel? Because you're a parent, right?
Yeah, I am. I think that.
Tell her what you used to think and what you think now.
Yes. What did you unlearn about parenting? That's a good one.
First and foremostly, I just came back from Africa, and everybody in the community is allowed to beat your child.
I don't like that.
If your child is doing something,
you ain't telling what you used to think yet, bro. You start.
If your child is doing something crazy, you know what I mean?
How you feel about that?
I think that besides the super influence of Christianity in Africa, is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now if you're beating somebody and you believe in a Caucasian Jesus, then you can be altered. You know what I'm saying? Like your thinking can be a little bit off on what you consider right or wrong.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But also, the kids are super respectful. Everybody's super respectful. In Ghana, you could leave your wallet somewhere and nobody will steal it.
Yep.
As far as what I've learned.
Really?
Super respectful. And I think a part of that comes from upholding yourself to your community, you know what I'm saying? And having this responsibility that, yo, I gotta make my family proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to not believe in hitting a child, and I still don't. I like a little jolt sometimes, you know what I mean? A little pinch never hurt nobody. But yeah, sometimes it's like, if you get hit by a car, it's not gonna give you a lecture, it's gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So we gotta know, it's a balance of when to do it and when not to, and you should do it far less than you do it, you know what I'm saying?
This guy told me I was stupid for beating my kids. And he was smart.
I never said Dre was stupid.
He was smart.
I never said Dre was stupid.
He reprimanded his kid intellectually, and I was a stupid man that whooped his kids.
Did they learn the lesson?
You have to, yeah, of course.
You feel like beating them allowed them to hear the lesson?
Listen.
Let's not use that word beaten. Let's use correcting.
Discipline.
Because beaten sounds too harsh.
Yeah, but that's what we called it because we're Jamaican, right? Or Caribbean. We call it beaten.
Beat the kids.
No.
Listen.
Discipline.
Positive
Discipline.
and negative reinforcements work, right? If you touch a stove and you get burnt, you will never again touch a stove with fire unintentionally. So there is scientific proof that when an instance happen that you have a strong negative reinforcement to, your memory goes directly back to the first time you got reprimanded, and then you will either hesitate or not do that thing again, right? So obviously you have to know your child, right? So my children, when I raise my voice, they cry. Right? So I don't have to always spank my kids, but I'm not one of those parents. They've been spanked, and so they know, listen, or else what's coming afterwards. And I'm the one, I'm gonna threaten you. This is the last time I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not the parent that's gonna forget that I told you the last time was the last time. So you have to remember. You understand what I'm saying? Similarly, when you're in the army, you get an order. You have to follow that order. Life is unforgiving, and anytime you're parenting any child, and all you do is forgive everything, and to me, all these psychological games they play with these kids, it does not always prepare them for life.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, you know, the polar opposite to a spanking is not spanking, right? And yo, you gotta believe it or not, kids are not getting up for elderly people to give them a seat. There's school shootings happening, and it's all because of this entitlement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there has to be a middle ground. Not saying you beat the shit out of your kid or you don't.
Beat them
it's
3
just
days
like
a week.
sometimes a spanking to let them know, like, life is like, you don't disrespect people. You know what I'm saying? There's a punishment in life as well to disrespecting people, like being blackballed. You know what I'm saying? Or losing an amazing person. You know what I'm saying? And people should it's a balance though, because then you may have somebody in the neighborhood who may give somebody 10 lashes for something that's worth 1 lash.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big, go ahead.
No, I love hearing that's what existed in Ghana. I do feel like if everyone, what did I say?
Existed.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Exists. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm glad to hear that exists in Ghana, mainly because I feel like if society cares that much about correcting your child, that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Here, you see somebody else doing something, it's like, let me mind my business. They don't care enough to correct that child. And they also, I feel like a lot of people do it because they're like, I don't know what their family's like. You know what I'm saying? So if I say something to this kid, and they say something back to me, it's a wrap, and then they bring their parents.
Just saying something here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really do love the fact that society can help raise children. Everyone should be that caring enough to care that much about each child. But I really don't want nobody touching my kids.
Right,
I want to
at
talk
the
about,
same time.
Yeah, and then even family members. I don't want nobody beating my kids. That's one. And then two is I just feel like when my mother used to beat me or my dad, like it didn't change anything. I was actually more like
You're one of those.
rebellious, like I'm still gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? Because that didn't do shit for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was one of those. So, and I had that mental. I just really wanted to please my parents. Like I really wanted to also do well for myself too. I like the positive reinforcements when you did well and we go on vacation, or you did well, you get this Christmas gift, or what did you want for your birthday and you did well, you get to have that. Like I enjoyed that.
So that was enough to.
I also had the mental worth that like I didn't want to f up. You know what I'm saying? And I was also I had the mental worth to like see what I could fucking get away with, and I did that. You know what I'm saying?
Also, every kid doesn't need to be beat.
Right. That's why I said know your child.
Kids,
know your child is key. Yeah.
But some parents just do it out of anger because it was done to them. And it's like...
That's true. I mean,
I remember
you should not be beating your kids out of anger, though.
I heard a pastor say, never
Discipline.
beat your kids out of anger. And it was like he had to say
though.
So we grew up Seventh-day Adventists.
Okay.
And that's how I know Dre.
It's hard because, your children, if when you live with kids, kids are resilient and determined. Like they are relentlessly determined. Right, and so if when you become an adult, you tire easily because you understand the concept of yes means yes and no means no. Kids, however, when they hear no, it's not right now or maybe later, and so you say no, you can't do that. But why? Or they'll come back 2 minutes later, can I, Mom? And I just told you no. So after a while of if you have a kid 5 years, that's 365 times 5. These kids are relentless.
I love
From the
that.
time. Okay.
Can I tell you why I love that right now?
Yeah.
I just feel like, and this is what I have to unlearn in life. We've been taught, go to school, get good grades, get a job with benefits.
That's it.
That. Kids should be relentless. Those are the creators in life. Those are the Elon Musk, the creatives, the artists.
They don't know about all this bullshit
Facts.
that's going on.
And they don't hear no.
Yo, speaking of
How
that-
successful are the people that don't hear no? Let's think about it.
So I
Speaking of
understand.
that, Dre, I had to unlearn that I was unable to learn from my child. Like
What do you mean by that?
I learn from my child all day, every day.
Okay.
She teaches upwards sometimes.
Yes, because people say kids should be seen and not heard. You don't want to hear what they got
and
to
if
say.
I'm
but
always
you-
thinking I'm right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't get that blessing. Sometimes she needs to spank me. I deserve a beating in the head. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I love that
is
kid.
absolute rubbish.
No, it's not. We learn from children.
One time I was washing a pot and it was clean already, but I was just rinsing it out and my daughter said, "Yo, Daddy, wash the handle." She saw me about to just cook without washing the handle. She was like, "Yo, Daddy, wash the handle."
And that's inspirational to you.
It was beautiful.
Do you cook on the handle?
How old was she, by the way?
10.
Okay.
You cook on the
How old is
handle
she
of your
now?
pot?
No, then.
Then 10,
10. Okay.
You cook on the handle of your pot?
It don't matter, germs.
You cook
Facts.
on the handle of your
Facts.
pot?
RN right next to me.
That's right.
What he said?
I'm an RN. Yeah.
Do you cook on the handle of your pot?
Doesn't matter. You're touching, you're cutting, you're putting it in the food. Yes, heat does kill it, but it's also like
We don't know how fast bacteria travels from
and
that
what
handle.
type of bacteria it is.
You know what I mean?
How dirty is your house? If we're going down stupid rabbit holes, How dirty is your house?
She was right.
Oh,
Dre
yeah.
don't admit it. She was right.
Listen,
She was right.
Kids think simply, and there are some things you can glean, because we as adults always try to make things more complicated when a different lens, a more simple lens, can glean some insight. But when you walk around talking about, I could learn.
I thought he was gonna go a little deeper. Like,
yes,
she told me patience. She told me.
That was just one example.
But
of course,
you're right.
You came up with watch the pot handle.
I'm just saying one thing in which she spoke, as opposed to me learning this on my own.
You are over 30 years old, and she just passed 10. There's no way she's supposed to be teaching you every day, dog. Okay?
Well, no, I don't think that's what he said, though.
I never said thank you.
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Thank you, TJ.
I didn't get that.
Thank you, TJ.
You vegans don't hear stuff.
Thank you, TJ.
No, I don't claim vegan.
Thank you, TJ.
I don't claim vegan.
Yo, I had to unlearn monogamy. I used to
Here we go.
Oh, I want to hear this.
The couple of men I grew up around, I used to hear stories. I grew up around a lot of women. And they would always say about how men are dogs and men cheat. And what's that Jamaican saying? What's that Jamaican saying, Dre, about the pig who's like, yo, to the mother, why you hug so, you snort so long? You ever heard that Jamaican saying?
No. I don't remember it.
Okay, well, they say one day the child pig goes up to the mama pig and says, like, mommy, why is your snort so long? And the mother says, boy, like, one day you'll know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Connect the dots, please. She's quizzical just like me.
So I started to understand a common denominator, like, why are so many men cheating? You know what I mean? Why are so many men cheating? Like, why does this keep on happening? Why do divorces keep on happening? Why are men so evil, yo? Why are men so evil?
Why?
And then I just came to an understanding.
What?
I came to an understanding that monogamy was a law put in place. And it is not a DNA fact, a biological fact. So when I got rid of also unlearning this sense of self and, hey, I'm the center of the universe, that also taught me about individualism versus the whole. And us as a whole collective of people of African descent right now would benefit more from polygynous relationships, in my opinion.
I like how you did that.
You know what I'm saying?
That was smart.
Okay.
And it's bigger than sex. It's about economics. You know what I mean? It's about putting our money together.
Community.
And building some bigger stuff than us. You know what I mean? Sex is the least.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
I think polygyny came first, and people can look at it and say, yo, that's a past way of living, but like,
I think it's coming up back in society right now.
damn, nothing's new under the sun. Like, everything just circles back around.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
like that.
And people accepting it and not accepting it. Like, we saw alcohol not be accepted. Now marijuana is accepted. Let's see where else it goes. But I loved what you just shared. It has my mind going a mile a minute. I feel like, why were men non-monogamous? Not because they should have been polygamous. I feel like that has a lot to do with honesty. So if you're cheating on your wife, that's not okay. Your girlfriend, that's not okay. I feel like for people to be cheaters, you're selfish. There's a lot of negative, like, character flaws for someone to do that. If you're talking about polygamy because it's building up the community, I love every inch of that, because polygamy to me means, that he cares a lot about me and every other woman that he brings into this house. He knows that he's going to provide and protect us. We can come up and figure out, we can all be working together, putting that money together for economical success. That's awesome too, or economic success. Tell me if that was right.
You're doing great.
So, thank you. So yeah, I do feel like that works. You have multiple people rearing a child, which we talked about that's awesome in Ghana, right? Community. So I'm all for that. And I love that it's honest, and he's being honest about bringing people in. But I just think that if it's good for the goose, it needs to be good for the gander.
That's not.
So right now there's a show on TLC called Seeking Brother Husbands. And we are sexual beings and we do connect with other people. And for us to, you know, I feel like it's natural for us to connect with other people.
If I get this right, you're saying it should go both ways.
Correct. If you know, yes, it's polyandry for women to have multiple husbands. So yeah, I do feel like women should do that too, and it should be just as loved and respected as as it is for polygamy.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Why is that?
Because he's a man.
Let's talk about it.
Unlike my counterpart Dre,
he's not unlearning anything. Go ahead.
Women have sexual energy too. They want to have sex with multiple people too. But society puts that we should be pure and that's it. Just have one man.
Unlearn.
But say you get the man you want who is you consider masculine enough for you, and both of y'all are together with this person at this crossroad, and you're pregnant. Is the other man who didn't get you pregnant gonna stick around?
You don't know.
If we're in a relationship, all of us together, like polyandry
situation.
Why not stick around? We're having this baby as a unit.
Dre, if you're dealing with a woman,
I'm not into this mix-up stuff, so my answer won't be relevant.
And I think that's key. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people want to just be monogamous, and that's your lane.
Yeah.
But if you feel like, you know, you want to explore that and your partner's okay with it, then that's the green light. If your partner's not okay with it, it's not okay.
What I'm saying is I'm not into the polygynous or polyandrous situation, because to me it's about nation building. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about necessarily just sexual pleasure. And right now, unlike my counterpart Dre, who believes men and women's ratio is 1-to-1, I think there's a lot of more single women that are good women than single men that are good men.
So here is some of the muscle confusion you be having going on, right? So first you say there's more women than men. Then you change it to there's more good women than good men. Now you're saying if a woman is cheating, she's most likely cheating with a man who has a woman. If there are more good men, then if there are less good men than bad men, why is it likely that she's cheating with a good man and not a bad one? That's the first thing.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that's the first thing.
A lot what he just said?
Yeah.
All right. So he just said.
Let me answer that.
Okay, answer.
You already said it.
You got it?
If you get it.
Okay. Go ahead, answer. And don't be long-winded, because you just spoke.
All those things are true. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of gay men. There's a lot of men locked up.
But that's disproving your point.
Listen, there's a lot of men locked up. There's a lot of men who would hit a woman. There's a few majority of good men. That's what I'm saying. Compared to great women or good women.
So you said if she's cheating, it's likely that...
So I'm saying cheating is a less honorable thing than being a second wife.
I hear you. I'm saying, you said...
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, let's move on.
Less honorable than being a second wife.
Yeah, I think so. Like having to cheat with a man. You know what I'm saying?
But when you're in a polygamous relationship, there is no cheating. I welcome you bringing in another woman.
No, I'm not talking about in a polygamous relationship. I'm talking about when a man is with a woman and he cheats. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what a lot of these polygamous men think is that the men who are not polygamous can't be or don't want to be, right? I believe that a lot of men who are in monogamous relationships and are honest, faithful in their relationships wouldn't mind being polygamous. But because they love the partner that they have, and the partner isn't interested in that, so they're honoring their agreement with their partner that you know what? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what adulting is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you polygamous men walk around talking about.
I'm not polygamous, by the way. Go on.
Yeah, he didn't claim it.
On this episode.
Okay.
No, I always say like polygyny. I don't believe in polygamy.
Okay.
What's the difference?
So polygyny is a
Splitting
man
hairs.
having more than one.
That's
woman.
what it is.
I don't believe in the other. It could go both ways. You
guys
can do
are
that
double
if you
standard.
want for fun. Yeah. But
So
I
hear
don't
what
think,
he's saying.
I don't think
Why would
that.
it be for fun? Like, I'd be procreating, with different lineages. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that men.
You don't want her to be the god she is?
Like, got it.
Listen.
The goddess she
Women
is?
do deserve that if they want that. I'm just saying, as far as nation building goes.
She's building a nation.
Yeah.
Listen,
they breathe through me.
if one man breed you, the other guy's gonna go unless he's a super.
Who
feminine
said?
man.
No, he could breed the
Where's
next
that?
kid.
What are you
do
talking
mean?
about? He's coming the next one.
Yeah, he could be the next.
See, but this is the flaw in their polygyny
I don't
conversation.
even feel like it's a flaw. I think it's his perspective, and I think, you may need to hear other people's perspective and understanding that.
No.
And you need to find someone that fits your ideals and your ideology and your perspective for your relationship to work. And and I feel like if life was that simple, we would be golden.
So
You found a
Agreed.
partner that you can marry. She's not interested in it. You're okay because you've committed.
Right.
That's awesome.
Sure.
That's for you. That works for you. I gotta find what works for me.
right. But so since we're just talking about, in his case, polygyny. And for me, they're just one step above cheaters, because a cheating man wants multiple women, right? And because he thinks he's better because he's honest to the women that, hey, I want multiple women.
Yeah.
I hear you. Let me just finish the point. A cheating man isn't brave enough to say to the woman that look, I want other women. It's the same thing he's doing. Having multiple women. If your lexicon allows you to be in a position where you think, I am human, and as a human I have urges that cause me to want multiple people. That's what you want, multiple people, yeah?
Let me ask you a question.
Nah, man, just say yeah or
Let
no.
me ask you a question. What age you
Let
got
me
married
finish.
at?
Can I finish?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
You started losing me. Go on. But go on.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Thank
Okay.
you. So most of these guys, they just want to have multiple women. Your
I
premise
don't agree
is
that that's what he said, but I hear what you're saying.
most of them.
Okay.
Your premise is, if a man could have multiple women, I'm human, I could have multiple
Women
men.
have urges too.
Thank you.
We
They
do.
don't want to hear that.
A lot of
Okay?
urges.
They
A
want
lot
to
of
be the
urges.
only one to have fun.
Okay.
The woman should just deal with them. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're just one step above the cheater.
He did not mention because he wanted to have sex with multiple women. He said
So
he wanted to
what's
build a
polygyny
nation.
about?
He said build a nation. That's what he
Don't
said.
believe
So
that.
if
Don't
he's
believe
gonna
that hype.
spew this to his
Don't
girl,
believe the hype.
he's
You
gonna
don't
make
need
sure it's
multiple-
not that I
you
want
don't
to
need
fuck other
multiple women.
bitches.
You don't need
Listen.
multiple women
got-
to build a nation.
Listen.
You don't. But it helps. And
Sure, it
also
does.
different lineage of men too for the women, by the way.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
You were asking me when I got married at 26.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Go on. You met me lose my point already.
Oh,
I got
so what else
questions.
did you unlearn?
So you're married.
Sure, yep.
You got married at 26. Did you feel like, are you still married to her today?
Yeah.
Okay, so 26
16
is
years.
very young.
Why? Jewish people get married at 17.
I know they do, and I feel like they have a lot of issues. So, but I love no shade, no shade.
No,
I
but they
love the
stay
Jews.
married. A lot of them stay married. A lot of these old Jews that's been married for 60 years,
So
They got
what's
married
the
at
secret?
17.
What's the secret?
staying true to your commitment. Yeah. A lot because
He's a Taurus. That's
because maybe because of society, right? Because of the society we live in, people are unwilling to. They think I changed my mind. I got the freedom. I got the right to change my mind. You do, but when like I was talking to a couple of my boys today, and the conversation came up that some men are saying, if you are dated, if a woman is forcing you to get married after 5 years, you should leave her, right? And so my boy said that frame of mind is stupid because you want her to sit with you for 5 years, and then you're gonna leave, and then she now has to spend another 5 years with somebody else.
Thank you.
And that's now 10 years of her life gone.
Thank you.
Right?
Who got that? What's his name? He's single?
Nah.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, congratulations to her.
Yeah. So a lot of the issues we have today, as it relates to relationships and marriages, right, has nothing to do with people. People are who they have always been. But we, as a people, as a society, as a nation, right, we stop holding true to one, values, and two, commitment. Commitment used to mean something. When a person said, I give you my word, we didn't need a contract.
Talk about it.
Now we need contracts because we can't trust your word, right? Now we're getting married and we gotta sign a contract.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And because as a society, we have devolved into where we are today. Yes, you're gonna have, when someone got married, the thought of divorce was never in the picture. Most people nowadays, when they're getting married, they're also you're contemplating divorce at that point. That's what a prenup is.
I call it protection, but okay.
But that's sure. But protection in the event. So at the onset of marriage, we're already thinking about the end.
Look at it like healthcare. It's insurance. So are you gonna wait until you get sick before you say, hey, maybe I need health insurance?
I understand what you're saying, but I am saying
he doesn't like that.
No, but you don't have to do a prenup in the beginning. You can do a prenup in the middle.
You can. You can.
So the point I'm making is
it's not a prenup then. It's called a post-nup or something.
I don't
Middle
know. I don't know.
No, I think it is post-nup though.
But the point I'm making is divorce is already in our lexicon even before we get married. Before, people just was yearning to get married, and that was the destination. Yeah. Now it's like, well, we could get married a couple of times. What's wrong with that?
Before, people were beating the shit out of people and thought that was okay. Before, a woman would accept a man cheating because she wasn't able to open a bank account.
Talk about it.
And have her own house.
I needed you, yeah. I couldn't work. I wasn't allowed to be in the workforce.
My grandmother has 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? How could she do that? Dre believes, she could have went out and got a job and did it on her.
Yeah, but that's a lot.
Lonely in the 1940s in Jamaica.
Yes, it's understanding how society works, where women are not in the workforce. You know what I'm saying? So, wow, that was deep.
We like to get there sometimes.
Okay. No, that was good. I just feel like I love your story. I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I feel like we get to instill this in our generations, that all those morals and values that you were talking about, commitment, right? Because I feel like that creates the person, because not everybody understands commitment.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And you understood commitment at 26, and I just feel like for you should have been married if that's what you valued, and that's what and she obviously agreed with your values. That's perfect. But there are some men that just don't get it. They feel, and that's how I feel like Kevin Samuels was kind of pushing on a lot of men too. It was like, why do you want to be with this woman that has 6 kids? You know what I'm saying? You should be by yourself. Do you even want to have children?
Yourself.
Do you even want to have children?
And what do you think about that? Do you think a man should go, if he has no kids, go with a woman who has 6 kids?
I mean, it depends. If that's something that he is okay with. Does he want more kids? Is she willing to give him more kids?
Yeah. Okay.
That's all a conversation. But what I was just saying is, I also agree with you too in the sense, so I feel like people are people. And so your homeboy that is not into commitment and want to stay for 5 years and test it out, have her live with you, throw her through hoops, and I have friends that do the same thing too. Ladies, you're wasting your time. And it sucks that we're figuring this out now, but it's okay. When you learn it, okay? And then you get to share the knowledge with the younger generation. All right.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say, marriage is kind of going out of style, and some people can't spend life together without a contract. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think.
I think it's the definition, though.
I don't think that not being married automatically assumes y'all are gonna break up, and being married automatically assumes y'all are gonna stay together.
It's the definition. What does marriage mean to you? So marriage to me, yes, it's the legal aspect where we could go to the courthouse, but for me, really, it's not about a piece of paper. It's the commitment. So
somebody is not able to commit to you without signing a piece of paper?
You can, but in our society, it creates us as one in the society that we live with. If you want to live off the reservation and off, understand, like...
He's like 1/8 Cherokee.
And that's okay. And that's okay, too. You just got to find somebody that agrees with that and all that stuff. To me, marriage means commitment. We don't need paper. We don't need the 10, 20... $40,000 wedding. It's the commitment. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to find someone that understands that.
I love the it was Marvel or DC. One of these companies came out, and at the time I think Marvel was signing contracts with all artists to draw for them. You had to get locked into this situation, and I think DC came out with it, and they said, "Yo, listen. We're only gonna pay you for the work you do. And you could be here as long as you want to. I don't want you to be here longer than you want to be." You understand what I'm saying? So I believe like that with life. We don't like contracts. Don't we love that contracts went out on cell phones and shit?
No.
Because, no, you love a good contract?
Yep.
No,
well,
I don't like contracts.
I don't like contracts. So I feel like you need to put in that effort each day. And when this is no longer serving us, then you walk away. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that you still do that in a marriage. I feel like you still do that in a marriage. If I am not happy in the marriage and you're not happy in the marriage and we're not committed to making it work, we should both leave.
There you go. That latter part is the key to every marriage working.
I agree.
Right? And that's the problem. A lot of times, and we're kind of stuck here for a bit, but us as a society today, only one person is fighting in the marriage most times, right? We had an episode recently where I was trying to get my boy to realize that he's saying he's fighting to keep the relationship going. And you guys who've been following, the episode. That's our last episode, right? He's saying he's fighting for the marriage, but he's not giving her a chance to fight, or he's not meeting her. Like, it takes two people to fight, and a lot of times in most marriages is one person fighting, right? And no relationship is going to work if only one person is fighting.
Facts.
And so that's part of the...
I want to spend my relationships loving. I don't want to spend my relationships fighting.
I agree. But there are going to be disagreements, and you don't have to say that that's a bad thing.
Don't fall for it.
It's what does everything mean to you? So like, I don't want to argue with my partner. I want us to love each other. I want to give you love. I want you to give me love. But we're going to have disagreements, and it doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be negative. It's a conversation where you hear my perspective, I hear your perspective, and we come to a compromise in whatever we're trying to do to move forward.
You didn't mention, are you one of those women that are open to polygamy or polygyny?
So personally, I have dated women and had real serious relationships with women. I just want to say that. So I could see myself being in a relationship with other women because I feel like people are people. I know that sounds weird.
So you're asexual.
What?
No.
What?
Asexual means you don't like sex at all.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. So
They would say I would.
Dre the intellectual.
I guess pansexual. I don't title myself. Just like I don't call myself vegan. I don't say I'm straight. I'm gay. TJ from the Skinny Ratchet podcast.
Non-binary.
And
that's what it means, non-binary?
No, I don't know what that means. But when I connect with someone, I feel like I connect with the soul of that person. So it could be, feminine.
So if you're married to a man, and he brings someone in that
we have a discussion about it, and he's telling me why he wants it, and I love my husband, and I support him, and it's something that I could see working for us and myself, and us as a couple. Yeah, I'm open to it. I'd be open to it. But we would have...
You blowing Dre's religious mind out the water.
No, but we would have to come up with a list. And I actually was interested in having an open relationship. Actually, it was with a woman.
A list?
Yeah, we had a list. And so it was anytime you communicate with whoever you're going to be with, it's on an open forum. So it was like all of us on it. So I know if she's coming over tonight or whatever. And I feel like I'm in the loop of it all.
Oh, so you're saying a list of who's involved?
Not list of who's involved, but there's a criteria that I have, or a list that we have to compromise on. Like, how are we going to do it? Is it open to friends? Is it open to coworkers? You know, like, you have your specifics that you want, and they have their specifics that they want, and we come to a compromise on it.
And you have to be involved in any of the deals?
I don't have to be there. No, I've never even had a threesome. Okay. But if if it was like a together thing, yeah, I would want us.
So you want the option to do it?
I would, yeah. Why not? Yeah.
You believe in pronouns?
I guess.
Like signing your emails with pronouns and shit?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because pronouns are dumb.
They,
anyway,
them.
What else did you unlearn? Say that again?
I said they, them.
Yeah,
this question was asked because you was like, yo, I don't really subscribe to all of that. So I was wondering if you're like, yo, they, them, that's me too. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, but I do respect that if someone wants to be called they or them, like, what does it do for me? Like, I'm gonna just say it. Like,
and if I want to be a cat,
then and you want me to refer to you as a cat, no problem. I don't care. I don't care that much. I really don't.
Dre hates that shit.
I know.
That's true.
But if somebody says how they want to be referred to, like, why not respect that and just do it?
Because it's dumb.
There's life consequences to respecting that sometimes.
Yeah. You have a mental problem.
Okay.
If you think you're a cat, you have a mental problem.
Okay, so I have a mental problem. What does that mean?
Get help.
Okay, so getting help.
And so then I won't help you with your mental problem.
By playing a part of it.
Yeah,
by playing a part of it.
Yeah. If you're coming to me to tell me, I know you are TJ. I know TJ is a female. You're coming to me and say, hey, no, Andre, I'm a cat. I'm going to say, TJ, I love you.
How deep does this go for you? You have a business.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
A client comes in and they're giving you a astronomical amount. I'm not going to give it. You give me a number.
What do you mean?
6 million. 6 million in contract.
In business, sure.
Yes. And they would like to be referred to as they.
Dre is playing crazy.
No, I won't.
Dre is going to play crazy.
What I will
Dre,
do.
You're not going to play crazy?
No, what I will do is I'll call you TJ.
Right.
I would like to for me to do business with you.
You walk in my car and say, I should say they?
To be in business with you on my contract, when you refer to me, I would like to be referred to as them,
that's what's happening?
They. I'm asking. I'm just asking, how far does it go for you? How much do you care? Do you care when it hits your pocket?
TJ, great question.
I'm trying to explain it to you, right?
Sorry, no sides.
So there are gray areas within this, because it's a pronoun, right? So it's when I'm referring to you outside of your presence. That's what you told me this stuff is for, right? So if you're here, you cannot have a problem with me referring to you as TJ.
So...
Nah, it could be on some joint, like I'm in the car. I have him in the car with me or something like that.
Have who in the car with me?
A woman or something, yeah.
I have TJ in the car with me.
What you're doing is still okay. I'm sure that they would like to be called their name or whatever.
I think Dre's basically saying he doesn't respect it at any level.
I'm going to call you your name.
Yeah, but that's still respecting me though. Because,
sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone.
Okay,
I'm just saying you are one, singular. I am not calling you they. I'm calling you TJ. If I have to refer to you, I'm gonna call you your name.
Yeah, so you just fix your sentence to always say TJ is here and
Dre, what did you have to unlearn? We've been going back and forth. It's your time now. What did you have to unlearn?
All right. So what did I unlearn? So I've been in religion all my life. Right, and religion is a huge part of my lexicon, and it informs a lot of what I do in my personal life. So, as a Seventh-day Adventist, we used to, for lack of a better word, look down on people who wear jewelry or people who drink alcohol or especially people who call themselves Adventists and do these things. I had to unlearn that because biblically there is no reference for saying you shouldn't. The people who the Bible says are chosen people are still drinking alcohol today, right? So like our religion says we shouldn't, but there's no biblical references for that. And so I had to unlearn, because that's what he wants to talk about.
Okay.
He's asking a random question, but I know what he wants me to say.
Okay, I like
So I had to unlearn a lot of the different stereotypes and doctrines, dogmas that we were taught. And it's putting me in a funny place now because I'm raising children and I'm raising them in my religion, right? And it's like, do I have them learn the things that I have already, like I figured out that I need to unlearn, or am I, because one of the other things that I've also found out is that religion handcuffs you. Right?
Talk about it.
And I was talking to some of the elders in my church one day. No, I was at church and the pastor was talking about a couple of different things. And I texted my little sister and I said, do you think the church promotes free thinking? And her response to me was about the things they want you to think about. And I was just like, well, how is that different from the other churches that we think are handcuffing people, right? And, it started a chain reaction and just like rethinking stuff religiously. As it relates to society, I haven't relearned much about reality. I've learned things. So like cheese, right? When you mentioned cheese was not good for us, I've learned that I never thought cheese was good. I just know cheese tastes good. Yeah, exactly. So I learned that, hey, while it does taste good, and a lot of things, I've learned that chicken is also not too good for us. So I understand. Listen.
You just made me think of something.
I like, so a part of the Adventist church is going back to the original diet, according to the Bible, is nuts and grains and vegetables, right?
Daniel's diet.
Correct, right. So understand and believe that that's the correct way. But that's hard as hell, right? And
is
so
it? What does hard mean to you?
Difficult. This guy.
I cannot.
Okay.
Yo, speaking of that, I had to unlearn chicken and cheese tasted good. Can I get some snaps for that?
Yeah, you do have to unlearn that.
Snapping.
You do have to
Why?
unlearn that.
Like,
It's
you mean
whack to
chicken
me,
together with cheese?
No, period. I just was in love with the seasoning. And the bite. Pause. You know what I mean?
It's the texture in your mouth.
Cheese,
right?
I was just in love with the taste, but that was a learned behavior. That's not what my body craves in reality. That's what the bad bacteria crave.
Yeah, you're not lying about
You
that.
know what I mean?
These vegans tell themselves
Well, actually,
anything
there is
to make
something in
cauliflower
cheese
taste
that's
good.
called casein, and it is a known addictive.
Word.
And it's in dairy.
I believe it. Yo, listen. God made good, man made bad. For the most part. Sometimes, you know what I mean? But God made great.
And I think he makes us in his image, and we get to be great too. I want to live like a queen right now in my
look
being.
what man is doing now, putting the mRNA vaccine into salad and stuff like that, putting chemicals
Salad.
into chicken.
I heard meat.
With all
Where do
of
you get
their
salad from?
It's
First and foremost, God didn't even make chicken. Chicken is a man-made, bioengineered product.
Well, that's not completely. This is. You gotta watch
I need
these goddamn
facts.
vegans. Thank you.
I need the facts.
Thank you. So the chicken is. He's right.
There's no chicken in the wild.
There
are
are
fowls
wild
in
chickens.
the
Yeah,
wild.
they call fowl.
Yeah, that's different. People don't eat fowl, they eat chicken.
Fowl is another name for chicken.
We'll look it up.
So what we consider chicken today was a mutated version of an African fowl. There's a guy on Rastafarian. He's not a Rastafarian. He has dreads. He's a herbalist, and he talks about how we shouldn't. I forget his name. We'll list him here. But there's a guy on, and he went down and talked about. He gives the science behind what different things do to your body, and so what the different types of fruits, the different types of grains, and the different types of foods that are toxic to our bodies, what it does to us. And sometimes he talks about where it came from, and he spoke about that chicken, and you can look it up. Chicken, I did look it up. Chicken is a GMO of an African fowl. So
can we talk about why that exists, though?
The African fowl or chicken?
No, just in general. It's really for monetization.
Correct, sure.
Right? So people like chicken, let's create more chicken, let's do what we gotta do to create more chicken, So I feel like that's just everybody out for profit and self and
so sometimes profit meets the greater good. In closing,
okay,
Miss TJ.
Is it time already?
Yeah.
Too short.
Yeah. Well, we can come back, baby, and you can bring some of your crew with you.
Of course. A lot of this conversation they would have loved to have.
She got wild.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, we went down rabbit holes with Ali, as always.
And Dre.
Well, he brought us down there.
Ratchet is positive.
Facts. You define everything for yourself. If you heard me say that in this episode, I said it a lot. You
heard that, Dre?
it.
You could define your
Yeah,
words.
he thought that sophisticated was the opposite of ratchet. And I
these
live
Europeans
in the
made up some words,
Yes.
bro. Like white mean pure, and they call themselves white. They far from white.
They are not
so
white.
they right, exactly. They get to use their definitions when they want to.
Just said in closing,
and they use
and
church
he's
to
bringing
do
us
that. By the way,
down another rabbit hole.
I'm on the rabbit hole too a little bit.
Well,
is it the drink? Is it the drink?
I'm on the trail.
Is it the drink?
If it's the drink, God bless the drink.
Yes.
Because I'm enlightened.
Yes.
I'm woke.
Yes.
And I'm having an amazing conversation with two kings. Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll put it in the
I'm a
books.
god.
You'll be back.
I'm a god, and you're a goddess, and he's a god too.
Facts.
All right.
And he's not aware, and that's okay. In his own timing.
In his own time. He hates that. There's only one
It's
God.
okay.
But we're made in
his
Can
image.
you not fall into his traps, please? So what you will learn, and what they have already learned, is whenever Ali says things directed to me, it's based on conversations we're having outside of the show.
Okay.
And he's bringing it in the show.
Okay.
So do not fall into his traps.
What's your final thoughts, Trey?
Well, no, ladies first.
Okay.
Final thoughts is that we're continuously learning.
Yeah.
We're learning ourselves every day. We're learning the world around us. Everything is changing. We're aging. And you choose the things that serve you and that resonate with your life, that support your life, and you unlearn them if it makes sense for you.
I love that.
Gotcha.
I love that. Do what works for you.
Facts.
Well, that's my mantra. Always do you.
Okay.
So
And be sophisticatedly ratchet.
Right.
do you being sophisticatedly ratchet. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my final words.
I like
Ali,
it.
let's hear it. Let's hear the muscle confusion, please.
Oh, jeez.
Question everything.
Yes. Yes, King.
Question everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Question why. Dre, you love to say men love beating down women, and you love the women defenders. You'll be the woman defender. Question why they made God a man figure and not a woman.
But I told you that answer already.
What's the answer?
Men are we're going down. We're trying to close.
Sorry.
But since you asked, the Bible was written by men from
Man's
matriarchal dominant society.
Yes.
So if they're gonna write about God, I'm not saying that they're not right.
Are they gonna write about God or make up what they think God is?
It doesn't matter. They're writing it down.
It's in their interpretation.
Wasn't they supposed to have met God though?
You're right. That's what the Bible says.
Okay.
So the point I'm making is, if you are writing down or making whatever it is, right, God, you're gonna write it in a way that fits your lexicon, right? So if you talk to So I was watching, what was I doing? I was doing something recently. Oh, I went to a farm. I took my son to a birthday party on a farm. And the guy that was the tour guide of the farm, he said all our tractors are females, right? If you go to any one of these Muslim countries that are matriarchal, they probably would never name, or an inanimate object would never be a she. It would have to be a he. So if you're talking about God, so if you're talking about God, especially something powerful like a tractor that's moving earth, it has to be a man, right? Or guys name their they might do the cars female. But anyway, the point I'm making is it's a heavily patriarchal society that wrote the Bible, right? And it's obvious to me why they would name God a he, because in the Jewish society, the Jewish women shouldn't even be talking in church. So if you're
not sitting inside the house,
you're not even sitting next to your husband. All of these, so you got all of these patriarchal things that's going on in the society at the time, and you have the free reign to list whatever. Of course, you're gonna list it as a he, since you want to bring us down rabbit holes. He thinks that I don't know if you're trying to bait me into saying things that I wouldn't normally say on here, but
question your name. You know what I mean? Question if your parents named you the right name.
It don't matter now.
It doesn't matter. That's who you are. But you're
you
not
can
your
rename
name.
yourself.
You can, but you're not
it
your
won't
name.
change.
You're not your name.
Well, so no, I do think your name has energy, and so.
But you can name yourself anything.
You can, but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, name yourself if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, but the name that you were given, that you've been referenced and have submitted to all these years, that name is still attached to you, and it comes with some power, right? You can't let go of that. So while you can name yourself anything you want, but I do believe in the fact that names have power. So even when it came to naming, like I looked up what the hell my name meant. And my name, while I didn't name myself, my character is what my name is.
Dre renamed himself to $500 million.
That's true.
I love that.
That's true.
Big wealth, okay?
Trans-billionaire right here.
Why not? Why not?
That's true.
You are not your name. You get to create that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not yourself. You're not your name.
Dre, your final thoughts.
Yeah.
I did.
That was it.
Yeah.
I thought you was piggybacking off of what I said.
No. Do you while being sophisticatedly ratchet.
Yeah.
Yes. Be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you, TJ, for coming on. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
And I hope that you do come back.
Oh, of course. And I'm going to come back with the tribe. So you get to meet the rest of them. And then you'll come on my platform.
Yeah, for sure. You let us know.
Wait, are you sophisticatedly ratchet? Because you said you would just.
I would try.
It depends.
I would try. Well, since, you know what's funny? So you're able to decide for you what ratchet is. Yes. Why can't I decide for me what I think ratchet is?
You can.
Right. So
but you just said it's the opposite. So you're saying you can only have one or the other. You're sophisticated or you're ratchet. You can't be sophisticated.
No. See, a ratchet person can act sophisticated and a sophisticated person can act ratchet.
But we asked you what did sophisticated mean to you.
I did.
And you said not ratchet.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So how can you be
both?
You could be hood and be
I agree. That's sophisticatedly ratchet.
Right. So what I'm saying, when I need to be, I can be gangster, and when I don't need to be, I won't be gangster.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying, that you can be sophisticatedly ratchet.
Okay.
But you're saying...
To me, ratchet and ghetto.
You don't get it. It's okay.
I understand what you're saying. I don't think they...
Your definition is sophisticated is not
they
ratchet.
They don't coexist.
So you can't have both.
Right.
I think
at the same time.
But you're just saying that you can be both is what you're saying.
You can't have both at the same time.
You can.
For you, TJ can.
But you just said that you could be
when I want to be.
Hood.
When I want to be.
But they're not existing at the exact same time.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So I'm talking about the general term. Like I would consider myself sophisticatedly ratchet because there's times that I code switch and I'm ratchet, you know, and there's times that I code switch.
Then you're not being sophisticated at that time.
I hear you, but I would still give myself that overall title, not in that moment, in that second.
What you
yes,
are,
you can't be both.
What you are
but
most
in general,
times is what you are. So if you're most times sophisticated,
Dre,
you're
I think it's
sophisticated.
like more of a
In my
metaphor for like, you know, like
That's me. Can I? Why y'all get to choose and I can't choose?
you can, but I think that you're allowed to have your definition, and I think that also two things can be true at the same time. And you could be smart and a little ghetto, or you could be, you know what I mean? You could be
That's true.
intelligent and hood.
That's
You know what I'm
true
saying?
also.
Yeah.
You could know when to dress it up and when to dress it down.
yes.
You could dress it down more, but you still know when to dress it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you dress down mostly, if there's a way to categorize that, you're gonna be categorized as that, not the once in the blue and you dress up.
Yeah, but it also depends on who you meet for the first time. We're constantly always meeting new people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And what you want to show that person when you first meet them.
Okay. We're gonna let it end.
I'm showing up as sophisticatedly ratchet.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that, Queen.
Yeah.
Do that.
I will.
Do that. Do
I
that.
will.
Do that.
I will.
Yo.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you guys for checking us out, and check us out on the next one.
Thanks.